This should absolutely trigger red flags for you. And if you're a guy who's very into this, you are a red flag and a trigger for women, normal women. Hey, what's up? It's me, Jessica Jane. I was just wondering if you've ever sat and thought to yourself, Jessica, what types of women are the biggest waste of my time? Well, if so, I'm glad you asked, because that's exactly what I'm gonna tell you today. And to make sure you never miss out on another opportunity to hear whether or not you're chasing after women that aren't worth it, or another one of my videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button with the notification bell. Okay, so in my opinion, each one of these as we go is going to get significantly worse. And one thing I want to caution you about is if you find yourself very attracted to these women, possibly even for these reasons, it's definitely something to look into with yourself and a therapist. So let's get right to it because there's a fuck ton of these. The first one is Miss Too Independent. Now, I'm very aware that women can make as much money as you now. Women have our own careers. We genuinely don't really need you to have kids even, but there are some women that are way too proud of the fact that they have this and don't need men. These types of women tend to look at men like, well, what are you gonna do for me? And I'll tell you right now, you don't gotta do shit for any woman, or you don't need to prove yourself to anybody for that matter. I don't care how single, independent, and successful she is. That doesn't make her better than you. Oh man, this video's gonna get me mad as hell. The second one is more of a man than you. I'll tell you right now, I pride myself on being a feminist in that I believe that women should be afforded the same rights, the same pay. Back in the day, it was very legal to beat your wife as long as you didn't kill her. I'm against that. Did you know single women couldn't even own their own homes in like the 80s, I think? Anyway, I digress. Unfortunately, there have been a lot of women that with the progressive feminist movement have started to shame men for not being man enough in a way where it's like, he's a pussy, I'm more of a man than you are. Oh man, this is gonna really piss me off. Anybody who is shaming you in your masculinity or pitting you against another man or shaming you because she's doing manlier shit than you. I have a girlfriend, she used to talk so much shit about her man because she was the one who like fixed all the appliances and shit. He just didn't know how to. He didn't grow up with a dad. Oh, my heart. But yeah, nobody should put you down for being more of or less than a man. And it's just, I don't know, it just breaks my heart. Oh, I'm hurt. Number 3 is the gimme gimme. These are the ladies that think that because they still wield the puss, they're entitled to anything and everything. I know I've talked about this before. I had a girlfriend that would sit there and be like, oh, every guy should pay for everything. I'm not paying for shit. And I'd be like, well, you don't even offer? And her exact response was, I have a pussy. Like, yeah, so do plenty of other people on the planet, lady. Suffice it to say, her and I actually aren't friends anymore. But any woman that thinks she deserves and is entitled to all your shit just because of her genitalia, I hope you tell her to get out of your life. I should have rearranged these a lot more, but again, I thought about these in progressively worse. The next one is the man hater. I've had several girlfriends throughout the years, and I've even been guilty of it. Say shit like, oh my god, all men cheat. Or even, oh my god, men are so disappointing. Yeah, I've said it. I'm not gonna lie. There have been moments where I've felt so hopeless. But if you have a woman who genuinely hates men, she's gonna be all of the previous ones before this one. Because really what you're doing is you are fulfilling her need despite her hating you. So it'll always be her trying to get what she can out of you despite not respecting you as a human being that you are. Again, it's like women try to avoid the guys who are like, oh, girls are just sluts. Like, if you're gonna talk about women like that, why would we want to be a woman in your life? Same goes with the man-hating hoes. Bless me for saying that. Same goes with these man-haters. The 5th one is probably the exact opposite, but this is the love bomber. I know a lot of you guys probably get roped in by the love bombers because they're so good to you. But any chick that wants to stay on the date for like 8 to 10 hours at a time and gives you gifts and shit all the time and cancels all her plans and drops everything and drops her life and tries to drop an egg for you within a week, this is somebody who is desperately trying to build clout in your life so that you owe her. It's rather new terminology, this whole sense of love bombing, but really it comes from a place of like extreme need and desperation and trying to make you dependent on her in a way where you now feel like you have to reciprocate. That is the goal of the love bomber, because nobody should be giving that much to somebody in such a short amount of time. This should absolutely trigger red flags for you. you. And if you're a guy who's very into this, you are a red flag and a trigger for women. Normal women. Oh my goodness, the next one. God, I hate this video! The next one is, you're nothing like my ex, whether in a good way or a bad way. If she says it to you in a good way, a lot of you guys get your ego stroked like, oh yeah, I'm like way better than that last guy. Ain't that great? No, it's not. It's the same shit as saying you're not as good as him, because she's still comparing you and she's still looking at you like you need to prove yourself. Like you have to pass these tests. And getting a, yay, good job, you passed, does not mean anything good for a relationship, because you are a completely different person no matter what, whether or not you are like him or not like him, in a good way or a bad way. And if she is comparing you in any way to him, what she's doing is she's assessing you for how well you fulfill her needs, not necessarily how much she needs you for the individual that you are. Does that make sense? Which then bring, God, these feel so soul-sucking. I'm so sorry. The next one is the never satisfied Nancy. I unfortunately know a lot of women like this. These women are bottomless pits of dissatisfaction, where it could be, he never cleans the house, or he's not romantic enough, or he doesn't try hard enough, where it's just always something, where you might even be trying. I'll tell you right now, my one ex, oh bless him, I think we dated about like 10, 12 years ago. He would do anything I told him to and asked him to. He was very much a yes man. He didn't even question it. He just fucking did it. But guess what? I always had something for him to fix. And sure enough, I did end up cheating on him, because really it was me never being satisfied ever. And when I ran out of things to fix with him, I went and got my fix elsewhere. God help me. I am a reformed cheater. Last relationship I ever cheated on 10 years ago. I hope he never sees this. But my point is, it's not about you. It's not about you doing something wrong, and there's nothing you can do to fix her, especially if she is somebody who is constantly unsatisfied and disappointed in you, finding new shit to take care of for her. I should have rearranged these more. But the ninth one is the rebounder. Now I'll tell you guys right now, some of you really pride yourselves on like stealing other men's women, which never bodes well. If you've had experience, you probably know. I was on Instagram earlier today and I saw this divorce attorney do a reel about like the number one person you should avoid when getting into a relationship, when dating. And she said it's anybody who hasn't been single for less than a year. Because no matter what, this person has shit to deal with. I don't care if the breakup was warranted. I don't care how long it had been coming. I don't care how unhappy they were or how much therapy they've been in. If they were in a relationship with someone, a loving, committed, maybe not even committed, but a loving, mutual relationship, healing needs to take place. Unpacking of that baggage needs to take place. And if she didn't unpack that baggage, where do you think she's bringing it? I used to be one of those people. I called myself a relationship monkey. I would never let go of one branch until I grabbed hold of another. And you bet your ass, I seem to find the same exact problems with all my boyfriends. Why? Because I was the fucking problem. So yeah, geez Louise, avoid these girls, please. And if you're one of those guys that's really into and really proud of the fact that, oh yeah, she's with somebody else, I got her. Guess what? You're gonna get got down the line anyway, if you haven't already. Okay, and the last one, I already alluded to this. I should have rearranged these differently, but the last one is the misfix you. Again, I talked about the woman who is always unsatisfied, but this woman is always trying to change you and pitch it as you should be better. Now, if you are a piece of shit who isn't treating her right and cheating on her all the time and making all these empty promises and getting rub and tugs at Asian massage parlors, then yes, you absolutely should fucking carry your weight and go to therapy. However, if you are like my ex who was constantly, yes, whatever you want, I'll do it. And she still finds more things for you to fix about yourself without her doing shit about it, then this is a problem. And a lot lot of you guys, you know, you're really hard on yourselves and you think that you do need to prove yourselves. I feel like men more so feel the need to prove themselves. I don't know, I could be wrong. That's just, maybe it's because I only work with men. But if you're finding that she's constantly trying to fix you and she's not fixing herself and she's never accountable, then you need to take a good look at that relationship and, you know, write out all the things you're supposed to change and all the things she's not changing. I feel like y'all do really good with lists. I feel like y'all are just more cerebral like that. But at the end of the day, these are the 9 ladies that I think you should absolutely fucking avoid. And if you know that you've been with all of these or you keep coming across these, chances are you're settling because you don't know how to get anybody better for yourself. Because you don't know how to create connections and create chemistry with the women you truly do want. Those ideal women who fit exactly what you want without you having to lower the bar. I know a lot of you guys lower the fucking bar because you think that you're not afforded as many options as you want. But I'm telling you right now, if you don't have the options you want, it's because you're not creating connections with women. So if you haven't yet, make sure you check out my Speak Spark Arousal system that teaches you how to create those knee-jerk connections and chemistry with women within minutes of opening your fucking mouth, so that you don't have to sit there and wait to be chosen and see who's still around, and then you settle with these chicks who treat you like shit. Sorry, I'm very passionate about you guys not having to do that anymore. So create connections and chemistry with any woman you want so that you have the power and you have the upper hand and you have the control and you have the say in who gets to be in your life. Because that's what happens when you do know how to lead an interaction to create connections and chemistry. And when you're able to do it with any woman, the door opens for you to have all the options you want and for you to be able to be more selective. So speaksparkarousal.com or this video right here. Please avoid these 9 women. Oh my God, I hated making this video and I hope you hate experiencing these women. And thanks for watching as always. I'll see you guys next time.